Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and we are so excited to be here today to be doing a cast overview of Season 4 of The Traitors.
Can you believe it? It's already Traitors season again? So excited. Of course, this is the US version that we'll be recapping here week by week. Starting, it airs on January 8th on Peacock. We're going to be doing watch parties on the Discord, so make sure you join the Patreon over at patreon.com/survivingpod. You don't want to miss it.
We'll be doing those Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. You just have to have Peacocks that you can watch along, and then we chat live on Discord. We'll also be running Bracketology again for those of you who joined us for Special Forces. I have no idea what to expect of this because it was really hard to do for Special Forces.
It was already hard enough. It's only going to be more challenging, but there were prizes for Special Forces. There's going to be some prizes for the Traitors as well, so especially depending on how difficult this ends up being.
I was going to say, it's truly anyone's game.
We're going to be very impressed.
Someone in the morning could be in good standing on this show, and by the round table, everyone has turned on them and they're gone.
In the blink of an eye. Yeah, your luck can change in the mansion here. So check the episode description. We've got the link there. You don't want to miss that.
This cast, I really don't know basically anybody.
Look, what happened with this was every time there was like a cast article, I would skim through like the first 3 or 4 people, and then I didn't really recognize them, maybe a couple people. And then I just kind of zoned out after that. So this is good. This is helpful that we're going to go ahead and jump into this, get excited about this season as it comes. And then this is just going to be a whole other way to experience it here, to have a little bit of know-how.
I also do kind of like going into Traitors with no like preconceived notions about people, because I think that that's how you have to think about this.
This is a very different game. So most of the gamers that you end up with who have won Big Brother or Survivor, or there's all these different competition challenge shows, but that doesn't always equate to success in the Traitors, because you can't go in with a set strategy or being too hyperly competitive. Mm-hmm. It's a very social game.
And you truly don't know, once you get this group of people together, like what the social element of the group is going to be. So you have to watch that evolve and then be able to change what your strategy is. And that's harder for the people with big personalities.
Very difficult. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Well, let's start off at the top of the list here with Mark
Ballas.
Ballas or Bias?
Ballas.
Ballas? Okay.
I mean, that's how they say it on Dancing with the Stars.
That's how Garrick Merrifield would say it. So, so I doubt it. Okay, this is Dancing with the Stars fame. Mark, you might know him better as Whitney's partner on Dancing with the Stars, Whitney from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So that's our path in here. This is how we know Mark.
Is that his most recent claim to fame?
I think that's his most recent.
She'd like to think so.
Well, yes, that's what she would say is his claim to fame.
Do you think that she's shaking him down to try to get an audition to be on the next season of Traitors?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely.
She's already done that.
But she's on, well, no, because he's ABC, well, Disney Hulu. And this is on Peacock, so he jumped over. This is cross-platform. What's going on here?
They do seem to be opening up a little bit to people from other networks, because at first it was very insular.
It just seems like it's whoever has a draw, really, is what it comes down to. And then also polarizing. They have some controversial picks as well. Some people who you don't really want to root for, but there's always, it's like House of Villains, where there's villains and then there's people that you cheer for. So that's the difference here. Mark, probably somebody we could cheer for here. He's if you don't know, 3-time winner on Dancing with the Stars, 2-time World Choreography Award winner.
I saw a clip of him talking about his time on the season because, first of all, their contracts are very, very strict. They're not really allowed to say anything. All he said was that this season was pure carnage. And that he watched all of the seasons of The Traitors. So he was a fan of the show before they ever called him to be on it. I think it's interesting to look at like who knew about the show versus who kind of did their homework once they already were cast. Because I'm not sure you really know what you signed up for if you didn't watch this show beforehand.
Oh, yeah. And pure carnage coming from Frankie Valli in Jersey Boys on Broadway. That's really saying something, you know? So obviously.
We'll have to see how he does. I feel like, and I don't watch Dancing with the Stars, I think he's a likable person.
He seems very likable from what I've seen on Instagram. I perused some of his stuff. He's very musically inclined. He does a lot of the musical arrangements for the dance numbers on Dancing with the Stars, which I didn't know. So that was kind of interesting to learn about as well. And if you're rooting for a hometown hero, he's from Houston, Texas. So if you're a Texas fan, then there you go. You have somebody to root for. There's actually a couple people from Texas in the cast this year. But what do you think? Is he going to be a traitor or a faithful?
A faithful.
I think he's going to be a faithful.
I'd be shocked if they made him a traitor.
I could see somebody trying to recruit him at a later time in the game.
Because he'll fly under the radar.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be a faithful right out the gate.
Yam Yam Arocho. Did I say that correctly?
Yam Yam.
Arocho.
The names are not going to be our strong suit.
Yeah,
this
I was going to say, why did you leave that to me?
Well, this is Yam Yam, okay? You may know Yam Yam because he won Survivor 44.
Sorry, 44.
44. Who knew that they've had that many? Well, I didn't realize how many Survivor spinoffs there are, too. There's a ton of variations of Survivor.
Yeah, I know. When I was doing the research for this, too, I was like, what is this one now?
Because I was like,
I didn't know Survivor had all these different names.
These are all different types, not just different places. I'm talking about, like, Survivor All-Star. We get into some of them here on the notes, but this is Yam Yam Survivor 44 winner. And the call out thing here is that he won in a landslide victory. It was like 7 of the 8 votes were for Yam Yam. So this was like a blowout win.
So he was very likable on
very
that.
Likable.
People wanted him to win.
Yes. So that's the interesting part here is where it's like, okay, he's a character, too, from the videos, the clips that I've seen of him, just his brief interviews and stuff, the way he talks about the Traitors and how he would play the game and stuff. I think he could be a fun traitor.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Also, I'm not surprised that you said that about his personality because apparently he's pretty good friends with Carolyn.
Okay.
I saw a clip from TMZ that was like a few days ago in an airport where she was on the phone with Yam Yam as TMZ was filming her. And then after she got off the phone, she told them who she was on the phone with and what the conversation was about. And it was him. And she was basically saying that they're really good friends, that he's recently on the Traitors. And a lot of the rest of what she said didn't make a whole lot of sense. Something about him, needing to stop fucking around with the wrong people. She seemed a little unhinged in the airport, to be honest.
Isn't that usually her speed, though?
Yeah, it is. But I guess I'm not surprised that he's now been cast on this show. I do think that they ask people for recommendations of who they think would be good, of people that they know who are friends who have also been on other shows with them. And I'm guessing that Carolyn recommended him.
Which that's why Mark is going to recommend Whitney. Of course. Yeah, that's what we're expecting.
Also, fun fact, I read that this is the first season where the people who are on Traitors who were previously on Survivor never played Survivor together.
Because there's too many different versions of Survivor that we've established that, yes.
Which we know, was it last season when they all came in, everybody immediately looked around and was like, okay.
There's my friend.
Or there's someone who I know is super competitive and I need to get rid of.
Who owes me a favor or something. Yeah, something that happened here.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be history like that between them from having played Survivor together. But I'm guessing they all know each other because Survivor is much like Bachelor Nation.
That, and then also it's the same thing like Housewives. The Housewives all band together even though they're all on different iterations of Housewives just because, they stick together. The cliques that form are usually show-based first, and then it goes by personality.
Yeah, they look for safety in numbers for sure.
For sure, definitely. And if you're rooting for Yam Yam, Yam Yam's also a salon owner from San Juan, Puerto Rico, so that's another reason to root for him if you so desire.
Tiffany Mitchell.
Tiffany Mitchell, who I knew nothing about. Did not know who this person was. Apparently, her claim to fame was she placed 6th place on Big Brother 23, and she was voted America's favorite house guest.
Okay, I was just about to say, if you placed 6th and people still remember you,
that's saying something.
Then, right, then you had good confessionals, you were fun to root for, or you were a villain. But you were a polarizing person. Maybe,
yeah. So winning America's favorite house guest, which I believe is like a fan voted thing. So it seems like she was a fan favorite amongst the show. Again, they're just trying to find people with draw here. But the other catch, or the other interesting part, is that she co-hosted the Big Brother Reindeer Games, where, if you remember from last season, Danielle and Brittany had their drama from the Traitors, which that took place on Big Brother Reindeer Games, where the massive money pool of $5,000 was on the line for that. And it's enough to make lifelong enemies with each other.
So she witnessed this all firsthand, co-hosting that show.
She co-hosted it. So she was there. She experienced this as well. She was also on The Challenge seasons 1 and 2. So you might know her or recognize her from that as well. I guess she was a phlebotomist. She's originally from Detroit, Michigan. That was her start. She just landed on reality TV.
Now it looks like she's a professional circuit goer in the Challenge reality TV show.
She's doing it, man. Yeah, realm. This is good. So, hey, I'll root for her. Do you think she would be a good traitor or a faithful?
I think because she was voted America's favorite house guest, they'll keep her faithful.
I was thinking faithful. Yeah. I marked her as faithful as well, but we'll see how it plays out.
Okay, the next two are a pair.
A bonded pair.
A bonded pair. Yes. Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir. We'll go with Tara first.
Yes. So Tara, obviously retired Olympic figure skater. She's been a commentator for the sport since 2014. She was the youngest gold medalist in Winter Olympics history at the age of 15. And then she was also the youngest to win U.S. national and world championships.
Okay, I'm going to say something kind of mean.
Okay.
I didn't really recognize her.
Oh, her face. Yeah, she got busted up here.
Well, now I'm thinking that seems like even worse to say because the last time I saw her, she probably was 15. And then I've seen her do commentary, obviously.
Commentary, yeah.
When there have been, different ice skating competitions.
That was 10 years ago.
TV.
11 years ago. 10,
but
pre-COVID world.
The fillers. She's got filler face, and it's upsetting to me.
She looks like somebody in this cast photo, but I can't put my finger on it just yet. Not Heather from Salt Lake City. I don't think so. Maybe not that.
I'm very excited about the fashions we're going to get from Tara and Johnny.
Oh, I'm sure that they're going to bring a wardrobe with them.
Even in the cast photos, they've already both started with the bow in the front.
Oh, right. Yes. It's a look. It's a style. Mm-hmm. They're coordinating here.
It's going to be fun. All right. There was a little clip that I saw Tara share already on her Instagram, which was kind of crazy because I haven't seen anyone show anything from the actual show. They've talked about the show, but they haven't shown a clip from it.
Yeah, it was always like the interview from the chair in the library where they're talking about stuff, but nothing from the actual show going on.
This was from a challenge. That must be one of the early episodes.
Has to be like the first episode.
And she stops helping the team because everybody else is in the boat. And she has the rope to the boat and she's on the dock. She lets it go and instead turns her attention because Johnny somehow got in the water.
Johnny overboard.
He's in the water, like treading water, trying to swim back to the dock. And she turns to help him and stops helping the team.
And lets the whole boat go. Oh, yeah. God. Okay, that'll be good.
I am a little worried that everybody's going to be very clear about the fact that these two are coming in and that they trust each other implicitly, that they will put each other first, and that may make them targets.
Tara's going to be a faithful. She's going to be the first one murdered. That'll be my my guess on bracketology. Spoiler alert.
Of course, then we have Johnny. Johnny, also retired Olympic figure skater, competed in 2006 and the 2010 Winter Olympics, and then also was U.S. national champion in 2004 through 2006.
Yeah, so he won it 3 years in a row. So nobody's done that since like the 80s. It was a pretty big deal.
There is a little bit of like a dark history to him, though. You see, there was a little alleged DV with his ex-husband.
Yes, yeah, there was a
very
2-year
short
marriage, very short marriage, 2-year marriage there with Victor Voronov. Like we said, the names aren't really the strong suit here. That ended in divorce, and Victor had filed a restraining order alleging DV.
That's all we know about it.
That's
though.
it.
That's
really, yeah, that's pretty much all the information that was available. So yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. Obviously,
we're
polarizing.
giving you the good and the bad about people.
Yeah.
So you can decide who you want to root for and
Could
who you want to see go home.
Interesting traitor material as well, because maybe people don't really trust him as much, or if they're aware of that.
So he is another person who did not watch the Traitors until he ended up being on the show. So he got cast and then started watching it to do his homework.
I would say if he hasn't watched the Traitors, then they'll probably keep him as a faithful.
Okay.
If you don't really understand the game,
you got to know.
I think you need to
know
the
power that you have when you're a traitor.
Very important. Yes.
I mean, they could be funny. I feel like the two of them running around the castle trying to solve who the traitors are,
or to do a murder in plain sight or something, like those types of missions. Like that would be hilarious. But also them both thinking that they're faithful, and then one of them's a traitor. That could be entertaining too. But I still think that Tara's probably the first one out based on that.
I'm still rooting for Darcy and Stacey to be cast on this so that they can accuse each other of being traitors.
That's the only way that that's going to play out. Yeah.
Stephen Colletti. This is a blast from the past.
Flashing back.
Stephen of Laguna Beach. And I guess One Tree Hill. I didn't know that.
One Tree Hill as well. Yeah. He also started a podcast recently with a Laguna Beach co-star in 2022 about the show. So there's a lot of podcast hosting that's going on right now too. So I'm surprised we haven't seen Brianna Chicken Fry show up yet on the cast here.
I don't know too much about him. Obviously, aside from watching him on Laguna Beach a very long time ago, I'm guessing that he is going to be like kind of a quieter person.
He could be an interesting one where if they do make him a traitor, it's the sweet heart sort of approach where it's the person you least suspect. But also I could see him as being a new Peter who would be like leader of the faithfuls, maybe.
Okay, yeah,
in some ways.
Pilot Pete energy.
Yeah. Oh, there is an interesting mention here as well. He was in Taylor Swift's White Horse music video in 2009, and he's not the only cast member with a connection to Taylor Swift this season. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Thought it was weird.
Put a pin in that.
Ron Funches.
Actor, comedian. Oh, At Midnight, The Kroll Show, Blackish. He did a lot of stuff.
He's
Undateable,
done a bunch.
Mulaney.
Well, he's like, smaller
a lot of
roles,
shows that didn't last very long.
A lot of things. He was a voice actor in all 3 Trolls movies.
Say, I'm pretty sure my friend worked at Midnight, and it didn't last very long.
He's done voice work on BoJack Horseman and Adventure Time as well. He's from Los Angeles. He's funny. He is going to be a side character who they cut to his confessionals all of the time for commentary.
Okay, but a faithful who's got good commentary.
I think he's going to be a faithful. Yes.
Agreed.
Faithful with good commentary. So you can expect plenty of humorous moments from him.
I'm kind of questioning his wardrobe. I feel like he didn't really understand what he's doing here. This is just a suit jacket with some colors on it, some stripes.
He looks like he's going to be up next after Mary Cosby at her church. Like he's he's next in the pulpit.
Okay, even worse though, Rob Rausch.
Okay.
Is that how we say this?
Rob Rausch.
Why are we just wearing a polo?
Don't get me wrong here on this. Okay, I had no idea who Rob Rausch is. He's a 26-year-old social media and reality TV star. He's a heartthrob, I guess, a Love Island favorite from seasons 5 and 6. So he came back.
2 seasons of Love
Island. He did 2 seasons of Love Island. He was doing work on Love Island because Peacock loves him on Love Island because he was a fan favorite and led to breaking viewership records
All right, so that
for
explains
them.
why he's here.
So that's why this guy's here. He's from Alabama. I don't really know anything else about this man.
I saw a TikTok. I'm sorry, I don't remember who posted it to attribute it, but they're basically saying that they think he's going to be a faithful who kind of floats to the end. He's going to a low profile, you know? That helps some people, especially some of the guys really get really far. They just kind of sit back and let everybody go at each other at the round table. They let the housewives attack one another. And then pretty soon you're down to like the final 6 and they're still there.
Is he going to be a faithful who knows who he can't trust? Or is he going to be someone who is a traitor's best friend?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? I don't know because I don't really know him, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say I could see Stephen Colletti ending up being like best friends with a traitor and not knowing it.
Okay. Okay. I was feeling like, yeah, it could be, Rob could be one of those guys where he's almost doing like the Dylan BFF sort of thing where he's like, you're friends with Rob, he's a traitor and you're a faithful. And there's a specific reason why he was getting really buddy-buddy with you.
Porsha Williams, our first housewife that we've gotten to so far, from
Yes.
Real Housewives of Atlanta and Portia's Family Matters.
She had her own little spinoff there.
Man, she's done a lot of other stuff. She's worked a lot. Celebrity Apprentice, the Wendy Williams shows, Utopia, Sharknado 5.
And more.
She'll take a cameo anywhere, apparently.
She is busy. She's working. She's booked.
And she's a political activist.
Yes. So she is an avid
she
activist
is busy.
with Black Lives Matter movement. She was arrested in 2020 at a protest for Breonna Taylor. So yes, she's been very involved.
I did see her speak about getting along with Candiance during the Traitors, but then she doesn't know where they stand now.
Interesting.
So there was a little panel during BravoCon for the Traitors.
Okay.
Where they had past housewives. And then I think, so one of the other people that we'll get to who's in the cast here was also there, who was on Top Chef.
Yeah.
And they talked through a little bit about like, you know, people who've been on past seasons, what it was like, and then the season coming up. And that was a comment that was made. So we'll have to keep note of that.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's a traitor or that Candiance is a traitor.
No, you know, it could just be people who, again, like the housewives tend to form alliances. And maybe you get towards the end and you start to suspect that somebody who's a faithful is a traitor.
Yeah.
And you get rid of them and then they feel betrayed that you didn't trust them. Like it could be something like that.
It's whatever accusation ends up flying around based on whoever, you know, like if it was something that Porsha said that kind of made people vote Candiance out and then Candiance was upset about that. So it's those types of things too that you could probably figure. There's a few different ways that could run as far as, you know, the tension that would be between them now.
I think I'm saying this correctly. Rob Cesternino. So this is Rob from Rob Has a Podcast.
Is it Cesternino or Cesternino? Oh,
one or the other.
There's a bunch of different ways to go about this, I suppose. But it's Rob.
So he is like a Survivor legend. So again, from the Survivor group, but he has recapped the Traitors over on his podcast every season.
Rob Has a Podcast is what it's called. Yes.
So that's adding a whole nother element here where I think the other people who have been on Survivor are obviously going to be aware of his podcast because he talks about Survivor. They're going to know that he also has analyzed seasons of the Traitors. Will they see him as a huge threat coming into this?
He has a connection point too. There's someone else on the cast from Big Brother who has been on Rob's podcast. So that's another dynamic too. He already has some people that he has a connection with or has talked to before entering the game, which is interesting because for him, now he played Survivor Amazon. So I guess that's a different kind, or maybe that was just the location for it.
I think at the beginning of Survivor, didn't they used to name them after the location?
It just said the place.
And now there's like all of these different spinoffs.
Okay, so Rob ended up in 3rd place overall on Survivor Amazon, which is pretty impressive, right? It turns out he makes and breaks tons of alliances.
Okay, so he's also like not trustworthy.
He is flipping and flopping. He is all over the place. So that's what people were impressed with his level of play. And even Jeff Probst said that Rob is the smartest person to never win Survivor.
I just think coming into a game like the Traitors, that makes you look like a huge threat and like you're possibly going to be a traitor.
Oh, he paid for it. Yeah, because then he showed up on Survivor All-Stars and he was voted out very early as a threat because people didn't trust him. So now you go into Traitors. This is the type of person where you expect them to be a traitor, but then they make them a faithful, and then you have to trust this person now, and that's even harder.
Well, so this brings us back to the Boston Rob debacle, where they had to bring him in late because otherwise he probably would have been the first person voted out.
Oh, yeah.
How are they going to handle this situation?
Wasn't he?
I feel like it's similar.
Because remember, Rob showed up in the hood at first, and they said, no, you're not allowed to play with us, Rob. Go home.
Yes.
And he left. And then he came back later as the
That's how much they wanted him on here.
They wanted him on the show. And then also they were like, oh, no, you're not getting out of it that easy, guys. Like, you can't just send one of your biggest opponents home.
I think that they learned something from that the producers of the Traitors learned that if they have somebody who they really want on the show, they have to find a way to get them in here that they're not automatically going to be gone. Will they solve that problem by making him a traitor?
Right, because then you run into the Dorinda issue of, she gets murdered the first night, and then you're really out of luck until you get recast on this season, the following season, which we'll get to her in a minute here as well. My other thing with Rob is if he's playing as a faithful and he's trying to make and break tons of different alliances along the way here, you will be voted out at a roundtable very soon. You will not be murdered because the faithful will banish you. So he's got to be careful depending on how he plays it here.
Different game than Survivor.
Very different game.
Natalie Anderson from The Amazing Race All-Stars, Survivor as well. Survivor Winners at War. My gosh, she's done like all these shows.
That's what I'm saying. As I was typing them up, I was like, there's so many different Survivors. And what's interesting is, so for Natalie, you might recognize her more. She played all of those games. So all of her Amazing Race and All-Star appearances and Survivor San Juan del Sur were with her sister, Nadia.
And we have no Nadia.
So
on this cast.
At first I thought, oh, that might be tough then, right? Because if she's used to doing all of these different challenge shows with her sister and her sister isn't on this cast, how's that going to go? But what's interesting is, on Survivor San Juan del Sur, Nadia was voted out first, and Natalie went on to win the $1 million. So that was an interesting dynamic where, okay, well, she was out the whole time, and she did it alone. So she could hold her own here on the Traitors, I think.
I'm going to be fascinated to see who Rob identifies as the biggest threat when they come into this. I think it's him. I think other people are going to think it's him. But who is he going to look at? Is going to be someone who won Survivor? Or is it going to be, someone else, like maybe a housewife? Or depends on what he thinks of Traitors.
Well, now, Natalie's gameplay, though, seems to be like that aggressive type of competitive. Because she was on an iteration of Survivor Winners at War. And she was voted out first because she was seen as a threat. And then she clawed her way back into the game. I guess there's some sort of like edge of extinction feature of that game or something that they could do. She ended up finishing second overall, even though she was voted out first.
Wow.
So like she has that competitive spirit and nature to her that doesn't usually do too well in the Traitors, though, if you get overly competitive, though.
Yeah, and it depends how good your social game is.
Right.
Because Survivor is a social game as well.
Yes, it definitely is. I think it is the closest, but some people still overplay the competitive side a little bit too much in the Traitors, where they come in with a game plan and they try to stick to it. And sometimes you need to adapt. You need to change on the fly. And you need to mix it up a little bit. And sometimes people aren't capable of that. So I guess we'll have to see how it plays out with Natalie. But I think she's a serious contender. I think that's going to put a target on her back, too, for a lot of people.
Monét X Change.
Monét X Change, who you may know from RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 10. She placed 6th, and she won Miss Congeniality that season.
And did RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars.
Right. Season 4, she won. And she was a season 7 runner-up on All Stars again. And the other connection point here to the Traitors being that Monét X Change is drag siblings with Bob the Drag Queen. So they have a podcast called Sibling Rivalry, and she hosts a dropout TV show called Monet's Slumber Party.
Okay, so this is my concern here, is that Bob the Drag Queen was a traitor.
Yep.
I think that means that Monét is going to have to come in and not be a traitor.
She's going to have a big target on her back, but I think she's going to be a faithful. Yes, I think she'll be assigned a faithful. And then that's going to be really tough because then people aren't going to like the way that Bob played the game, especially the housewives. I don't know. They might be trying to come for her.
That is a concern, that it sets a reputation for everybody who comes from a similar, like, other show or background as everybody else. Because like you said, that's what they've done with the housewives.
Because then it becomes, do you subvert the expectation or do you lean into it?
Yeah, where it's like, I'm a completely different person and I have a whole different strategy for how to play this game. But
hopefully, there is the social aspect. Hopefully Bob had some tips and tricks for Monét to understand the game a little bit better, things to look out for, things to learn from. Because, I mean, I think Bob did a pretty good job, maybe just overplayed a little bit in a few different instances as far as the aggressiveness, obviously there too.
Michael Rapaport, this one's going to be a little rough. There are people who are already saying they're going to boycott the season because of him. Yeah,
this is a controversial one. Michael Rapaport, he was an actor, I mean, still is, I guess, kind of a comedian, actor, person. You may have seen him in True Romance, Dr. Dolittle 2, Copland, Hitch.
Dr. Dolittle 2. How long ago was that?
The cinematic masterpiece, Dr. Dolittle 2. You might recognize him as Phoebe's cop boyfriend from Friends when she found the police badge at Central Perk, and then she was flashing that to random people, and then it was his badge, and he came back to claim it. He also hosts a podcast.
And the thing that's been controversial about him, if you're already not in the know about it, is that, first of all, he's made a lot of racially charged jokes that were inappropriate, and then he's also very divisive about the genocide in Gaza. He's very pro-Israel, and he's been very outspoken about it. He's definitely a controversial cast member because of that. I'm wondering, like, this is my thoughts on him, okay? If you're thinking, I don't want to watch this season because of him, my prediction is usually somebody who has a very strong, opinionated personality is off-putting to people in this show almost immediately.
Very quickly, yes.
You know, those people tend to be abrasive and say things that upset other people. That's kind of my prediction for him.
Oh, I think he's going early. Yeah. At a round table. He'll be banished by fellow faithfuls. I don't think they'll make him a traitor. I don't think. Because you already have enough reasons to not root for him. I don't think he would be.
There's a lot of other people who'd be really good as traitors.
Yeah, like I don't think it would be fun to watch him as a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to root for him. So it might just be, they're trying to bring him as a draw, which, you know, just from the controversial aspects of it and stuff. But I mean, people were upset when Tom Sandoval was going to be on Traitors, and that was a whole shift, obviously. I don't think we're going to get that same...
You don't think we're going to have the same redemption arc?
I don't think we're going to see the same redemption arc with Michael on this run here. Just because, like you said, he's still very outspoken, very opinionated. He's very, like, rough around the edges in the way that he presents those thoughts and opinions. So I don't think that's going to go over well in the group dynamic, in the social aspects of the game.
Maura Higgins, I don't know her. She was a finalist on Love Island UK. I am very excited about her from the clips that I saw. I think she would be an amazing traitor. She wants to be a traitor.
Nice.
I did see her talking about how she ended up being on Love Island because she was in a relationship when they had reached out to her to be on the show. And her friend was like, well, what are you going to do? And she was like, I don't know. I really like my boyfriend. Like, I don't know if I want to break up with him to go on the show. And her friend basically told her, look, you don't know what this guy is like. What if at some point you find out that, you know, he's been cheating on you, or like this relationship sucks and you passed up an opportunity to be on Love Island? So she went through his phone she found some shit. She used his toothbrush to clean the inside of the toilet, and she broke up with him and went on Love Island.
Okay.
So I definitely think that she has traitor energy.
She has yeah. And like the less that you know about people, the better off they are as traitors. And I think Maura would have the capability to kind of come out of left field where people don't really know.
Look at her outfit. She's got like this cape.
She's geared up for it.
It's all pleather. She's coming in here to be a traitor.
Her hair is slicked like a traitor.
She's ready to put a cloak right over this outfit.
I think so.
And go up to the turret.
Yeah.
Lisa Rinna. Talk about, are we going to call her like Hollywood royalty?
Icon.
I
think was the
is
word
what she
that
would call
was...
herself, I guess. Icon, actress, entrepreneur.
Author, model, reality TV star. That was the shortened list that I included here.
Her resume is absolutely ridiculous. If somebody calls her up and says, hey, are you available? She says, absolutely. Let me know where and what the contract is so I can sign it.
But she got started, I think, like the stardom began for her on a lot of daytime television soaps. So she was Billy Reed from Days of Our Lives, and she was Taylor McBride on Melrose Place. She also appeared on everything, Celebrity Apprentice, Dancing with the Stars. She was in Hannah Montana, Veronica Mars. So she's been making the rounds.
She was in an episode of Community?
She's multi-generational. Yeah.
Wow.
She's all over the place. She was in Entourage, a cameo in Entourage, I guess. I don't know. She also played Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway in 2007.
And obviously she's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Clearly, yes. That's why we brought her here today.
Wow. That was a mouthful.
But yeah, she's got a lot going on. I mean, she's 61, so she's got a pretty long career here.
I did see her call the Traitors a game of luck in an interview, which I'm feeling like that tells me she didn't get very far. If she's going to say it's all left up to luck and there's no strategy to it.
Well, yeah, she would definitely be a faithful then. That feels like a faithful interpretation of the game.
I mean, I hope she lasts kind of a little longer than a few episodes because, you know, her cast photo, she's channeling Shania Twain. I like what she's got going on here. I want to see more.
Let's go, girls.
Her fedora. How many fedoras did she pack? Kristen Kish. So Kristen is the season 10 winner of Top Chef. She's host and co-host of several culinary shows. I think this is very interesting because she goes outside of the norm of who we've normally seen on this show.
I think she would make a nice traitor too. I'm just saying. She's used to hosting, so you're okay speaking and coming up with things on the fly a little bit, adapting in the moment. So she has some of that capability to her. She was on the BravoCon panel too, where the housewives were talking with her about this.
It sounded like maybe she bonded with the housewives a bit on the Traitors. So I'm guessing she's coming into this and it's like, who do you have to look to as an alliance?
Right.
Because everybody tries to, for the most part, you know, team up with people who come from similar shows or networks as them. So, I mean, I guess she's going to have to look for a group that she can find numbers with, then it must be the housewives.
Also,
we'll find out more.
Fun fact, she's from Michigan and she was adopted from Seoul, Korea.
South Korea.
Well, it ain't North.
Okay. Ian Terry. I'm a little worried about Ian.
Ian. I feel like I'm going to like Ian, and then not a lot of people on the cast are going to like Ian.
Okay. I think here's Ian's saving grace. He's on the same cast as Michael Rapaport. Okay. So, you know, the first episode, I always feel the number one person to go is either a huge threat that the entire house has aligned on or somebody whose personality has upset everybody.
Grating. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Ian was on Big Brother. He was the winner of season 14. He then went on to be on Big Brother 22 All-Stars and talked about being diagnosed with autism and being on the spectrum. And the other housemates mocked him and made fun of him for it.
So he became a fan favorite. Like, people adored him after that point because he was essentially being bullied in the house that season, being mocked for his diagnosis of autism, which when you find out more about him, he's a data consultant. He's a class 2 backgammon master. So it's like, yeah, the neurodivergency is there. Okay.
Okay, yes. But again, this is one of those shows where I feel like neurodivergent people don't do well.
It can be difficult. Again, the social aspects of the game make
Yes.
it very challenging.
Well, it's not even just the social aspects of the game. I agree that that's definitely part of it. It's just a very neurotypical way of thinking when people at the round table get together.
Because it's not based in logic and fact.
Correct.
Well, you have to go off your gut for a lot of stuff.
It's a recipe to make a neurodivergent person feel insane.
Well, because at that point, you're asking a neurodivergent person to then, hey, make a decision based on you don't have enough information to make a decision, but you need to make a decision.
Well, and also, it for some reason doesn't play well on the Traitors when you come to the round table and you have a completely logical, thought out argument with facts and examples. And then people think you're a traitor.
Well, if you present too much information, then yeah, people don't like that because then it seems like you know too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's not as comfortable for them to wrap their minds around. So it is difficult to kind of navigate those waters. And I'm saying that that's the social aspect of it, is where it's a lot of just your initial reactions to questions or things like it can come off as suspicious.
Yeah.
Because you're not
I think there's
placating.
something too to people not being able to read you.
Yeah.
That makes them uncomfortable.
Right.
Or having a harder time reading you. So we'll have to see how he does. It does look like he's had multiple appearances on Rob Has a Podcast.
So that's the connection point that we were referencing here, where there may be, a built-in alliance there because they have had communications. He's been on for speaking about his experience on Big Brother in the past.
Okay. Eric Nam, or Nam? Eric. Eric is a singer and an American K-pop artist. I know nothing about the K-pop world. I am excited to watch him because I did see some housewives raving about how great it was to meet him and how they didn't know anything about him coming into this. So I guess his personality must be like pretty big.
All I know is that he was GQ Korea's Man of the Year in 2016, and he was on the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia in 2017. That was about it.
Okay, I did also see a YouTube video of him where it went viral. He's sitting on the floor with his friends and they're all eating watermelon. And one of his friends yells something at their dog and like the dog stops barking. And he just looks up from eating the watermelon and was like, "Your dog speaks Chinese?"
That's it. That's the whole clip?
That's it. That's the whole clip. I mean,
Okay.
it's like 20 seconds long.
They would have done numbers on Vine.
Yeah. So, I guess he's of the internet world.
Okay.
A baby of the internet.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And he's got a little cummerbund. So I think that's cute.
Faithful or traitor?
Faithful.
Yeah, I'm feeling faithful from him.
All right. Dorinda Medley. She is back. Real Housewives in New York City.
You can't keep a real one down.
She was the first person voted out last season.
Not voted out, murdered.
I'm sorry.
She was murdered the first night.
But nobody missed her because they were all upset that she shamed them for eating all the food while the few housewives were left out on the rafts from the first competition.
If they could have voted her out that day, they probably would have, but she was murdered instead.
Okay, I am so excited for Dorinda coming back because I watched her talk about the preparation that she did to come on the show last time.
She went above and beyond, but that's the hilarious part, is because none of that matters.
No.
Because it seriously comes down to, did you offend the group? Did you upset everyone?
Yes.
You're gone.
Yeah, she seriously got her PhD in watching the Traitors.
She was reading Lao Tzu. She was reading like The Art of War. Yeah. It was just, she was completely over the top.
It's fucking hilarious. Also, I'm excited for her to be back because there's a rumor that she allegedly had an altercation with Donna Kelce.
I'm here for it. Yeah, I hope it's on camera. Which, I mean, they have cameras all over this place, right? So, they had to have caught it.
Yeah, she must be there for a while longer than she was last season because I guess the rumor is that Donna came up to her and said something to her about her drinking or her slurring her words, and that's what led to this altercation.
Well, she's got a temper, too, I guess, when she's drinking.
Yes, she does.
Allegedly.
We didn't get to see too much of her last season, but I would love for her to be a traitor. I just think that would be entertaining.
I mean, that's the only way that you can ensure that she's going to stay here this time.
Yeah.
So, but that would be one of those things where it's like, okay, it's like adding the 3 gamers to the season last year where it was obviously one of them is a traitor, right? But then who amongst us? So it's just like,
is that too obvious?
Is that too obvious? Is it too on the nose? Is it funnier to have her be a faithful and then possibly be up for murder again the first night? That would be really something. It seems like she stays around longer though this time. So that makes me lean towards maybe
being a traitor.
Maybe being a traitor. Also, okay, so for our next person that we were talking about here, Mama Kelce, Donna Kelce. I think Donna Kelce is a traitor. I think she let that slip on a podcast already.
Yeah.
She was talking about how beautiful the land
Scotland was at night.
Yeah, it was very dark on the grounds walking around, and lots of stairs. I almost did that. And it's like, you're talking about going up to the turret.
We've all seen the show.
We've watched the show. And she's like, oh, I'm not giving anything away. Well, yeah, to some people you are. So maybe, what if Dorinda and Donna are both traitors?
Oh, I love
that. And that's where the altercation happens.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I like that theory because maybe she's upset that Dorinda's drinking or she feels like she's drinking too much because she might say too much.
Yeah, or
maybe
just
let
whatever.
a little something slip.
Whatever altercation happens in the turret. Because they're fighting
Give
now.
this show an Emmy if that happens.
If it happens, I'm here for it, baby.
All right, so the only complaint I have about Donna is that she's not here through any fame or background that she has established for herself. It's because she's Travis and Jason Kelce's mom.
She's football mom, America football mom.
Her bio is so short. It was like, and former banker from Cleveland, Ohio.
That's it. That's all she has. That's it. Oh, and she's going to be Taylor Swift's future mother-in-law. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I did also see an interesting tidbit from Caroline, who was saying everyone was afraid to say anything to Donna at the round table. They were afraid to go up against her.
Oh.
So I think that coming into this, she has this like sweet Mama Kelce personality that maybe will shield her from being accused of being a traitor. But if people are wanting to accuse her at the round table or go up against her, I mean, is that because she's routinely being accused of being a traitor?
Right. Well, yeah. So like, I think she would fit as one of the people where that would be a good person to have as a traitor if they pick her, because it's the unsuspecting. It's, you know, it's almost like season 1 of UK Traitors, where they had like the older grandmother type person who was a traitor, because who would suspect this person? Does it seem like Donna is like a big fan of the Traitors? Has she watched a lot of the Traitors? We don't know. I don't know. So maybe what does she pick going into it? I think she would be a terrible traitor, but an obvious choice to be a traitor. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, if she is one, she already let it out of the bag when she was talking about it, doing promo for this show like 2 weeks after they announced who was on the cast.
Yeah. So I think that she's going to give herself up at some point, and then she's easily going to be removed from the game. But I think she's going to be a traitor.
Colton Underwood. So here we have a former NFL player. So I guess kind of adjacent to Mama Kelce.
Football is the connection point. Well, at first I was like, Colton Underwood, is that Carrie Underwood's little brother? Are we doing another
no.
Efron thing here this season?
I had to remind you of the season of The Bachelorette where somebody jumped the gate.
Yes.
That was Colton.
Bachelorette season 14.
And then he was on his own season, The Bachelor season 23.
Yes.
Now,
and he was the first virgin bachelor for the series. So it took 23 seasons to find a virgin male for that storyline there.
Yeah, there was a reason for that.
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, spoilers. But no, so he was pursuing feels like a weird word now on this, but okay, so Cassie was one of the ladies on The Bachelor. She chose to leave, and then he dumped the last 2 contestants that were left there then to go after Cassie because he liked her. So he wanted to put in the effort to stick with her.
Save that relationship.
She left the show, so he was going to try and stick it out with her. They stayed together for over a year, and then she filed a restraining order in 2020 against him for stalking and harassment, which was later dropped, but still not a good look.
No. I think that may be the last season of The Bachelor that we ever watched.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jumping the fence was, I remember that distinctly.
And then for those of you who haven't heard what's gone on in Colton's life since then, he came out in 2021 and now he's married to a political strategist.
So he was the first virgin bachelor, and now he's the first and only openly queer bachelor as well. So a lot of firsts on The Bachelor. First restraining order? I don't know. Maybe not.
I do think he could be an interesting traitor, just because I don't know if he'll be suspected.
Do you think he'd be good at it, though? It doesn't seem like he does well under pressure. He jumped the fence.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe he'll be sweating bullets at the first round table and he'll be out of here.
I wouldn't clock him as a thriving under pressure sort of situation type guy, but I don't know. Yeah, like he could be. I think he's going to be a faithful, though. I think. We'll see.
Caroline Stanbury. Okay, I don't know a lot about her. She was on Real Housewives of Dubai, and then she later went on to be on Ladies of London.
The only thing that I found about her was she started a company in 2008 called Gift Library, selling luxury gifts. I don't know what that means.
That's out of our tax bracket.
Yeah, definitely. I was not getting any ads for that.
Okay, so she was the one who I saw talking about how she was ride or die with Johnny and Colton. So very quickly, she finds people who are not within the housewife umbrella. That's different from what we've seen from the housewives in the past.
Right.
And her strategy is to let the boys do all the work in the challenges.
Okay.
So
that sounds good.
That works out for her. Candiance, Dillard, Bassett. So Real Housewives of Potomac left during season 5.
Yes, under difficult circumstances, because
you could say
her and her co-star Monique Samuels were charged with second-degree assault of each other. So that makes things a little bit complicated on set.
All right, now I saw her in a clip talking about how she cussed someone out at the reunion because of how the show ended.
Okay.
All right, it's a big clue.
That's good.
Either that means that Candiace made it really far and was betrayed by somebody, or it could be that someone that she was close to during the game made it really far and ended up getting screwed over, and so she tried to defend them during the reunion.
Interesting.
But, I think that could be a clue here.
I think maybe she starts off as a faithful, she gets recruited as a traitor, and then she gets thrown under the bus. Because that's what always happens to the recruited traitors. You always get thrown under the bus.
Yeah, and I feel like the last few seasons, they've tried to do that purposely with housewives. Because they feel like they're on everybody's radar. Yeah. And so they recruit a housewife and they think like they'll be gone.
There's a level of suspicion that's already on the housewives, mostly because they form a clique immediately as soon as they enter the house too. Other fun facts about Candiace: she was former Miss United States in 2013, and she was a staffer for Barack Obama during his presidency. So that's pretty cool. Because she's from Washington, D.C.
That's everyone. All 23 cast members who we are going to start with on night 1.
And again, that night 1, that is going to be January 8th, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing the watch party in the Discord. And then we'll be dropping the episode a couple days after. So we'll be releasing those on Monday on the Patreon and then Tuesday on the public feed.
And don't forget, if you want to join the bracketology to play along, the link's in the show notes. Let us know what you're thinking. Who are you excited about seeing? If there's someone that we should know something more about that we didn't get in the research that we did, tell us about it.
Let us know.
And we'll see you here back next week. I know there's a couple of weeks still until we have this first episode premiere, but we are going to be recapping The Cult of the Real Housewife, all about Mary Cosby and her church. That'll be the next thing that drops here on Surviving Reality. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Before New Year's Eve comes New Year's Eve Eve.
Which means it's time for the second annual Rockin' Robin New Year's Eve special.
Join us December 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern on our Patreon. This event is not paywalled. Free and paid members are welcome.
We'll be watching Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 live, reacting in real time, and honoring Robin Brown's eternal love for sparkly Mormon vampires.
Watch along at home and chat with us in the comments. Go to patreon.com/survivingpod to join. See you there.